Today's vlog is going to be filmed at this very small park that I drive by every day and have actually never stopped, which makes me wonder why I even stopped here because there's so much traffic on the street. There's going to be a lot of cars coming by. I'm sorry. Hello, back again. So on today's vlog, it's Q&A, and I asked a few of my friends to send me questions. Some of my subscribers sent me questions, some of my friends from Facebook, and some others from Twitter. And questions are all over the place, but I just said, if you have any questions, I'll answer anything. So I kind of set myself up for that one. Let's start off with one that I've addressed before. Ruth Noemi Cruz asked, what made me start the weight loss journey? And that is a very good question, and because sometimes I forget. And the reason for the weight loss journey, not only for my own health, but because I want to be around for my kids when they get older. I want to be able to walk my daughter down the aisle. I want to be able to play sports with my son, which at the moment is a little hard. It's a little easier now since I've lost about 40 pounds since I started, but I still can't really do a lot of things. Like I'd love to, do a pickup basketball, baseball. I just can't run at this weight. So there's a lot more to go, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm wavering lately, and I'm trying to push through this wavering part of it because I know the end result is the most important part, and my goal is that by the time my daughter is 5, she's 1, by the time my daughter is 5, I will be at a good weight. What made you buy the house where I live? This was asked by Tirsa. Tirsa, I bought that house mostly because when I drove up, I was like, wow, this neighborhood is awesome. It's a dead-end street. My kids will be able to grow up here, and I won't have to worry about traffic like I am right now going back and forth here. My kids will be able to play on the street, and I wouldn't have to worry about being hit by a car. Also, the neighbors were great. The kids were about his age, Josiah's age, so it was perfect. We went inside the house. The price point was great. We bought it at $130. It was a little dated. I'm not gonna lie. It was like walking into, the 50s, 60s era. It was dated, but we spruced it up. We've modernized it. Con cuánta plancha planchó pancha. This is a Puerto Rican, what's the word, play on words, kind of like how much can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, which is another question she asked, and also Robert and you, and I'll answer the woodchuck question right now because they can't chuck wood, so they chuck zero. Woodchucks can't chuck wood. So that's the answer to that one. Y con cuánta plancha? How many irons will Pancha iron with? 1, because you only need 1. This one is a more serious question. Rodolfo is asking, who is my role model and why? And I had to think about this one because I never really thought about that before. Who is my role model? And it's, I guess it's cliche to say one of your parents, but I'm gonna have to say my mother. My mother, who raised us by herself for a long time. She was the rock, and I love her for that. And then on top of that, in 2010, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she beat that. And then in 2012, it came back, and she beat that, and she's here, and she's doing awesome, and I love her. My mom is my role model. Next question, Sarah. Do you sing 2. Because if you didn't know, I play the drums. So she's asking, do I sing also? Can you hear it? I'm playing one of my songs. I've actually recorded on a couple albums. Some of them have been background vocals, but I've also recorded a duet with my sister. I'll play that now.
Quiero adorarte solo a ti con mi corazón.
Sarai also asked, have you played any other instruments? And before I was a full-time drummer at my church, I was doing a lot of conga and a lot of timbales, so I was always in the percussion area. I tried a stab at guitar, but that didn't take. So what is something you really want to do on earth and still haven't? That would probably go back to losing the weight, but another thing I want to do is travel. I want to go to Spain, I want to go to Hawaii, I just want to travel. I want to see other cultures. I mean, it's not like I haven't traveled already. I've been to Costa Rica, Honduras, Salvador, Nicaragua, and even though Costa Rica is beautiful and it does have its tourism spots, all those trips were for ministry. We went out there on missionary trips with the band. So I want to go on an actual vacation to these other places like Spain, France. I'd love to go to France. I took 3 years of French. Je m'appelle Sami. Comment t'appelles-tu? I'm horrible. Now let's switch it up to the drums aspect of it. He asked, what is my favorite sticks to play with? Favorite drumsticks? I'm gonna have to say the Vic Firth 3A. And it's a thick stick, but it's not heavy. It's got a thick neck, and I'll post the picture of it, and it's got a wood tip. I love it because in my style of drumming, they take a beating and they don't break. Nathan Joel is also asking a question about drumming. He wants to know, how old is my Mapex kit? I have a Mapex all maple shell 6-piece drum set. You might have seen it in a couple of my videos. But I bought that drum set in 2001, 2015. So by process of arithmetic, it is 14 years old, Nathan. And it still sounds amazing. Tirsa, going back to Tirsa, she also asked me, what's my favorite Puerto Rican fruit? I'm gonna have to say parcha. It's a very tangy fruit. It's passion fruit, which is an English translation, parcha, passion fruit. But if you just make it just right with fresh parcha, you mix that up, sugar and water, just parcha, sugar and water. It's like lemonade. It's awesome. You should try it out. Danny Morales and I have been going back and forth on Facebook about the Roanoke, Virginia shooting. And even on the first video that he saw about it, he questioned it because he could have sworn, and he slowed it down and showed me proof, that the reporter looked at the shooter and didn't do anything about it. So as soon as he showed me that, I knew the conspiracy theorists out there were going to start poking holes into that story and saying it's a hoax. So he's asking me, is it real or is it a hoax? And I still say it's real, because there's just no way hundreds and hundreds of people are in on this. You're talking about the whole news station, doctors, police, state police, EMTs, friends, family. If these people are not dead, this is all a setup for gun control, I don't even know what to say. I'd have to move out of the United States. I'd go to Denmark or something. I don't know. I'm gonna stay true to my guns and say it was real and a tragedy. And those people who are saying it's a hoax, may God forgive you.